Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast, Season 2, Episode 1, The Monster Squad. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast. We talk horror movies from the past every Monday, live on Twitch at 8 p.m. Central Time. I am your head camp counselor, Doc. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Jacob, Wolfman's Got Nards Pinkston. Jacob, how are you doing today?
The name is Horace.
Oh, my bad. It was on the list, but you didn't get it. I apologize. We also got David. Lock me up, I'm a werewolf, Jessup. David, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good.
Very, very good. I've got Jay. Only one way to kill a werewolf. Mick doesn't count. Jay, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm in the goddamn club, aren't I?
Oh, that's the next one. Fuck. All right, we've got Austin. Creature stole my Twinkie McDonald. Austin, how are you doing today, sir?
What's going on, Doug? How you doing?
Very, very good. And finally, we got Tony. Scary German guys bitching Casillas. Tony, how you doing today, sir?
We're all going to die!
And I mean, actually, finally, we've got Ethan. Give me the amulet, you bitch.
Yeah.
Eastwood. Ethan, how are you, sir?
I am doing all right, man.
Fuck.
I am doing all right.
We are here to discuss the 1987 classic, The Monster Squad. That's right. Running 82 minutes. It had a budget of $12 million. Was very unsuccessful at the box office with a take of $3.8 million. Later became a cult classic film because of people like us who enjoyed it when we were children. We will find out of those who've never seen it have enjoyed it as adults. I highly doubt it after rewatching it. But hopefully we'll have a good conversation. Real quick description of the movie. 12-year-old Sean Crenshaw and his best friend Patrick are diehard monster fanatics. Along with their friend Horace, nicknamed Fat Kid, junior high tough kid Rudy, Sean's kid sister Phoebe, and little Eugene, they come together to talk monsters. But when Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Gill Man, and the Mummy come to their small town to get an amulet to control the world, Sean leads his friends into action to protect their town from the forces of evil. I am not good at reading things. Guys, histories with the movie. Let's start with Horace. Let's start with Horace over here. What is your history with the movie, sir?
I might have actually gone and seen this in movie theaters, but
Holy shit.
I grew up watching it. It's the Goonies with the Universal monsters is all it is. Like it fits the archetype. You got fucking Mouth, you got fucking Mikey, you got Rudy, who's supposed to be like a amalgamation with like Brad or fucking I don't know. I love this shit. I love it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about it right
It's
now.
got the same mom from the Goonies, too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Just across the board. David, how about you? Do you have a history with the movie or this first time watching it?
Yeah, first time watching it. In '87, when it came out, I was a senior in high school, and so this was not made for me. This was not a movie there where I was like, oh, I'm the demographic for this. So it was weird, man. Growing up, my dad was a huge Abbott and Costello fan. So I grew up watching Abbott and Costello versus Mummy and versus Wolfman and versus Dracula. So the Universal monsters for me were never scary. They were always kind of funny, kind of, side joke. And so I just was never interested in watching this movie. So yeah, this was my first time. I was a Monster Squad virgin.
The virgin. And then Steve took your virginity because you were the senior and you were, well, I guess, yeah, because you would have been the Steve of the situation. Jay, how about you? What's your history with this movie?
No, same as Jake. Saw it at at home for me. Saw it at home for the first time, and then I was going to daycare, it's private school called Henderson and me and my buddies, we all talked about it at 7, 8 years old and literally couldn't shut up about it. Yeah, very much Goonies. Meets the Universal Monsters. We didn't talk about the Goonies after Monster Squad came out though, because this movie completely kind of wiped that one off the map for us. But yeah.
So you have heavy nostalgia for this. Heavy nostalgia.
No, I mean, I don't think I'd really be nostalgic because I've watched it enough times that like it just kind of grew with me. So it's like, all right,
100%. Yeah, the same way Goonies was. I think Austin had this problem. He never watched it as a kid, staying home like sick from school or anything like that. So the nostalgia factor weighs in super hard on these fucking films like that.
Ethan's over there shaking his head like, yeah.
Didn't appreciate it as he would have if he was 10 years old, watching it.
Right. Austin, you have no history with this movie, right? First time.
Yeah, today was my first time watching it, but I do have, I wanted to say, Shane Black, one of the writers for the movie, I believe he was the director for Iron Man 3, right?
Right,
yep.
And the writer, that's correct.
And I'm one of the few people, I was excited to watch this movie because I'm one of the few people who really stands up for Iron Man 3. It's actually one of my favorite Marvel movies.
It's a good movie.
And
I like it.
I was really excited to see what this movie would bring.
Absolutely, and he wrote Die Hard, too.
Yes,
punched up the script
or Lethal
for-
Weapon. I thought it was
Oh,
Lethal
my bad,
Weapon.
I'm an idiot. Lethal Weapon. I apologize.
He punched up the script for Predator also, which he was also Hawkins.
Yeah.
Kiss
Yes.
Kiss Bang Bang, man. That was his directorial debut in that movie.
Great
The
movie.
Nice Guys is his best movie in my opinion.
Agreed.
That's
Yeah,
a great
really
movie.
good.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, do you got any history with the movie?
No, I finished it for the first time today, and I don't know if I love it or if I hated it.
Sweet. A Man Divided is going to be a great conversation then.
Yeah.
So, right on. Ethan, how about you? Do you got any history with it? I already know.
No history with it whatsoever, per usual. Never seen it, never heard of it. You know how it goes. I enjoyed it. This brought out the kid in me, man. I've always kind of felt like I was displaced. Like I love a lot of these movies that came out in the 80s, early 90s, stuff like that. And this, I loved it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, dude, you're a secret 80s metalhead. You really are. You just don't know it yet. So, well, let's talk about the movie itself. Tony already said it before. Go ahead, David.
I just want to jump in real quick. Jay, last week, he told me before watching this movie, he's like, you got to put yourself in a mindset, of like a kid in the 80s. And so I tried to do that. I tried to watch it as like a 13-year-old kid. And so I jerked off to a couple of Sears catalogs. And then,
Just to get in the mood, yeah.
and then got the shit kicked out of me on a school bus while being yelled faggot over and over again. So I was in the zone, man. So I think that helped my viewing experience.
I'm sorry. I just imagine you like now getting on the school bus and the kids just be like, "Get off here, you faggot!"
Beating the shit out of me. I was like, "Thank you. I can finally watch Monster Squad."
Thank you.
So with that said, David, did it help your viewing of this movie?
I mean, yes. Because if I would have watched this movie without that mindset, I would have been like, this is fucking trash. And so watching it as a kid would watch it in the 80s, it's so much fun. It really is. Even though I hated Dracula, I thought Dracula was awful.
Really?
But, man, I hated him. But you know who I love, though? And I'm a huge fan of him from the movie. Yes, Tom Noonan from Manhunter. Fucking love Tom Noonan. He did a great. And then the fact that they recreated the Frankenstein scene, I was just like, oh, so good. So good.
He did a really good job as Frankenstein. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's funny you should say that, David, because there are actually a few lists that say that Duncan's portrayal of Dracula is like the best ever, because they say he is the most sociopathic Dracula ever seen on screen up to this point. That is.
Well,
so
call
yeah.
a little 6-year-old girl a bitch to her face. I think it's pretty fucking hardcore.
That is really hardcore.
Shit, yeah, he did that. Like.
Not to mention, he also picked her up just by her head.
And he beat out
And
he beat out Liam Neeson for the role.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that wasn't
That's
hard
crazy.
to do back in
Liam
87.
Neeson
He was in Next
Dracula?
of Kin, Jake. Next
I know
of
he was in
Kin.
Next to Kin. That was like his biggest thing, and then it was like Dark Man, and then all right.
No, wasn't he in Satisfaction? The
Oh, yes, that's true.
yeah.
the manager in Satisfaction.
Wait.
No,
So
but
you
it's just. Go
you're
ahead.
telling me Liam Neeson was in the running to be Dracula in this movie?
Can you
Absolutely.
not tell, man?
You know what's
What?
funny about that? When I read that earlier on the trivia for this movie, there was a scene that reminded me of Airplane when he's walking up to the girl and the cops are getting out of the car. They're running up to him and he's just taking them out one by one. It looked like a
Yeah.
comedy scene out of Airplane.
It really did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god.
Also,
Not
also,
Leslie
I'm
Nielsen.
a-
Not Leslie Nielsen, Austin. Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Oh, Liam.
Listen, buddy.
I was
I
trying
mean-
to figure out why Airplane got brought into it, but I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll go with it.
It
I
was
mean, Leslie-
the Robert Stack scene whenever he's trying to get into the fucking terminal.
No,
Is
yeah,
it-
he was
now-
merging. I think he was merging like
Yeah, I know. Okay, I guess.
Now
Tony.
I can't get him out of the hit of Leslie Nielsen playing Dracula now. I
Yeah,
can't get that out of my
Dracula
head.
Dead
I'm
Body.
loving
He
it.
would be a good Dracula.
yes.
Damn.
Yeah,
good.
Dead and loving it.
Tony, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I only know Liam Neeson as a terrible father who loses his daughter Gyros.
And
so.
his wife.
Yeah,
Over
and his
over
wife.
again.
Yeah,
That's it, like,
just
back to back.
over.
He gets
Yeah.
them back. He gets them back. Yeah, it's not.
I
a
know,
big
but
deal.
like, how do it like your daughter gets abducted? That's one thing, but then the next one your wife does, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
He's just messing around. So Dracula, David doesn't like him. The rest of us, what do we think of Dracula's portrayal in this? I think it's pretty good. I think he's pretty scary. I don't know if I like the look of him specifically.
Maybe
but
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the look of him. Okay.
Yeah, but all the
Also-
monsters were kind of tweaked a little bit so they wouldn't infringe on the universal copyright. So
I
that's why.
don't,
Go ahead, Jake.
I don't like his lack of motivation.
Yeah,
Uh,
what is his motivation?
So, like,
To
he
rule
has
the world?
Wolfman following him down. He's like, "Oh, here's the amulet. Here's the amulet." And he's got this little fucking hammer, and he's able to chip a hole in the wall like this, so he can fucking see in there. Right? Like this wall is 6 inches thick, and he just gives up. He's like, 15 more minutes, and you can be through there. You can have it. And then even at that fucking point, there's a huge hole that he hasn't even still gone and gotten the amulet yet. He could have already been in there and grabbed it, and he left it open for Sean to go in there. Like, hey, look, that's the amulet.
Yeah, but it was surrounded by,
What's that?
it was
thing?
surrounded by all those crosses, so he couldn't
Right,
get there.
yeah. Oh,
Is that
okay.
true?
Alright.
Protected
but
by
it
Van
was-
Helsing.
Look back at
Yeah.
that scene. You'll see it's surrounded by like 50 crosses.
You're right. He could have sent the fucking Wolfman or the fucking Gillman in there though to get it.
Yeah, but the Wolfman
That's true.
couldn't turn his head. How was he going to
No,
get through
no,
that hole?
no,
It
no,
was a very
no.
Batman
No, Jake.
89.
The
thing going
logic is still completely fucked. You're completely right. I only know that at least the fact that he couldn't get it made sense to me.
Well, yeah,
That's
he
it.
gets a fucking third-degree burn from a slice of pizza.
Yeah. Some Hallmark crosses are gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, they're like strict on the lore.
Michael's made a killing off this movie.
How about the opening to the movie? It was kind of weak sauce, wasn't it? With Van Helsing, like it's like they screwed it up, but like they really screwed it up.
I kind of laughed at that, if I'm going to be honest. I loved how it goes through the whole story. You're getting the rolling text, and then they blew it, and it shows you how they fucking blew it. I enjoyed it. It was just, it's dumb. The
Hey.
set piece was kind of cool, the whole little castle aesthetic that they built, but I mean,
The only
it-
thing, what did you guys think? So we had the rolling text, and then it was like 15 minutes of just credits, building this
Yeah.
world that we're gonna be in for 3 seconds. I
Yeah.
was like, what? It was cheesy. My favorite line in the movie is "Read or we're all going to die." Like, I love that line. That poor girl was just having to read German text.
Yeah, and then she just gets blown away by or sucked into the vortex, and then
Yeah.
the skeleton pops up like the easiest villain to defeat in Castlevania, and all of a sudden he's just like, I can't get away from this thing, and
I
then
would think in real life also, if there was a situation where
Yeah, but
skeletons
wouldn't a
were on Earth, it
skeleton-
would be
yeah.
pretty easy to dismantle them, right?
right, can you just like punch him a little bit, like, and he would fall apart? That's what I was thinking too, but no, the skeleton screwed the whole thing up. And that's what I was like, evidently the original opening was supposed to be epic with like a Hungarian army coming in and
There was
tramping-
not a Hungarian army there.
100 brides of Frankenstein on horseback was like Shane Black's like original vision. And Fred Decker looked at him and goes, "That's $100 million movie." And he was talking, and he was saying, and that was in 1987 bucks. He's like, "Yeah, that's just not gonna happen." Now, if it, like, I think Monster Squad is actually one of the few movies from my childhood that I actually hope gets remade, because there are things to fix. We can get into that, but that would be a pretty epic. that would be pretty epic opening if they actually went with that.
I mean,
Do you know what the
wouldn't it
budget
be-
was for this?
12 million.
12.
12.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did update Monster Squad, but they had like the monsters from the 80s, like Freddy and like basically Dead by Daylight monsters?
That'd be
That
kind
would
of cool.
A great concept. It would be insane trying to get all the IP together.
I know, right?
Well, they tried to do like the
Well,
horror vision of the Expendables with I think Bruce Campbell. They wanted Ash in it, and
That would have
so
been cool.
it's
Yeah.
it's just that thing of like so many different studios to
Well, just do what Dead by Daylight does and just change their names. It's the Cannibal.
Yeah, put a
The
different
thing is,
spin on
though,
'em.
they can make it happen, because if you look at something recent like Ready Player One, that had licenses from everything out the ass, modern, old, wherever, and everything in between.
It
They
also
made
had
work.
Spielberg.
Yeah,
It
that's
also
what
had
Spielberg
Spielberg.
directed. Yeah.
Spielberg had him, and they only had the rights to certain things that the company owned that they produced it under.
Universal,
That
really,
I
yeah.
was gonna say.
So
For all the
what I'm hearing
creation-
here is we need Spielberg. We need Spielberg on board.
I mean, you
Would
all
make it happen.
Ain't gonna
Austin.
hurt.
Austin, what were your issues with the movie? You said that there were lots of things to fix. You did not like this, I take it?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan, honestly. I think there was a lot of moments that were really entertaining and really cute, and that gave me a giggle or two. But overall, yeah, I just I had problems staying awake during it, even though it was a very short movie. I caught myself. It was good background noise. It was good white noise in the background.
How about that montage, bro? Wasn't that a killer montage?
Montage! All right, that song's been stuck in my head all
Rockin' till you drop.
Rockin'
Dance it to your heart's
It was like they took an AI, artificial intelligence, and they're like, make a bad 80s song, and they just put everything together.
Well, Tony said it earlier. He's like, at least they wrote something in this movie, because I mean, the plot is really thin. There's not a lot.
Dude,
going
it felt like a 30-minute after school special. Like
Yes.
like the last 30 minutes were dope. Like up until the montage part, I was like, all right, now we're getting rolling. But it was a lot of like, why do we have to interview the cool kid to join the Monster Squad? Y'all are nerds. He saved your fucking life. Just let him in.
He's got to know his stuff, though. Does he know his monsters?
Yeah, he is literally like the biggest badass out of all of them. I think he takes out 3 different ones. Like he
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like
He
without
does
a
the mummy,
doubt.
the Wolfman, and the Vampire's Brides.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely the MVP.
I was very confused, though, because I'm like, is this taking place in the 80s or the 50s?
The fucking penny loafers and the White Sox.
Everything about it was
What?
it was like the costume designer was like, you know, it'd be cool if we make this kid look like someone cool from 1955.
Hey, get
But-
that Danny Zuko look.
Yeah.
You really can't judge him for that. The entire band, Aha, David, also rocked a very similar look. So I mean, that wasn't exactly this movie didn't pioneer that. I'll say that much.
And
I-
we got
Yes,
someone
sir.
in the chat saying hello. Christy got jokes. Says hey everyone.
What
Hey,
up,
Christy, got
Christy? How
jokes
you
for
doing?
Christy.
Thank you
Hi,
for
Christy,
jumping
got
in.
jokes.
Yeah, I mean, he was smoking though. That was the one thing, and the whole time I kept thinking like, oh,
Leather
he's-
jacket,
he's-
hair slicked back,
Yeah.
smoking.
It's
was
such
cool
a
kid.
product of the time, but that's the thing.
And
like,
he
the
was
smoke-
like 27.
Oh, holy shit.
Like they said
he
that
was-
he was in
And his
fucking-
character was a junior high.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
hold
they
up,
said he was in
fellas.
junior high. It's like, how many years was he held back though?
Fellas, we gotta go just hard stop for a second here. Our friend that just came and said hello, they didn't only just say hello. Christy got jokes. Thank you very much for subscribing to
Oh,
us.
cool.
Oh,
Thank you.
What up?
Thank
thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
So
Well, how did Corey Feldman not get that role as that guy? Like, how was he not?
Because
in
he
this
was busy
movie?
doing
Lost
another movie
Boys.
that came out 2 weeks earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Us boys, bro.
the Lost Boys came out at the same time as this.
2 weeks
Eight.
earlier.
No
Wow.
wonder
Really?
no wonder this got lost in the shuffle because the Lost.
I
Got lost
see.
in the boys.
I see some people didn't do their documentary homework.
No, I didn't.
Hey, I
did not.
will say this. Without this movie, I don't think we get Stranger Things. I don't think we get that whole vibe of
It's
it.
one of the proponents, I think.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
definitely has Stranger Things. And
I think we.
I felt like I was watching it also. Like it just had that, and I'm sure all those movies also take it from the Goonies, but it definitely had that whole Stranger Things vibe about it.
Well, how about you guys? When you were kids, were you interested in the monsters, or like? I know Ethan, Tony, most likely you guys had superheroes. When we were kids, we had superheroes, but the Universal monsters were pretty big still, or anything kind of spooky like that. I was kind of into it. Like we used to have the Goosebumps books, and then there were spin-offs of that.
Back in
and
my day, we had the
oh, we had the Goosebumps. Oh, I
Well-
had the shivers.
I had models that had glow in the dark hands. So I had Frankenstein with glow in the dark hands. I had a Godzilla model that his spine was glow in the dark. I had all that shit.
So the 80s had a lot of really badass cartoons too. Like we had the Ghostbusters, we had the real Ghostbusters, we had the Inhumanoids. Like a lot of our cartoons back then were definitely a little over the top and meant to
Thundar
be
the
scary.
Barbarian.
Yeah. And
That was
then we
your
had-
time,
Thundar.
David.
Then we had an after-school special about all of them telling us not to do drugs.
Which
Absolutely.
was one of the
Yeah.
greatest school specials ever. Cartoon All-Stars to the rescue.
Yeah.
Get high and watch it. It's the
Watch
only way to watch it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Only
dude.
way to
They're
watch that
doing
thing.
good.
It's stoned out of your
They're
mind
good.
going.
They're doing good.
You know what the
Sorry, go ahead.
80s also had, which was really messed up, and I don't know if you probably never saw this, but during the height of the Russian-American aggression, they had a half-hour propaganda film that was produced by the U.S. government showing a school teacher from Russia coming over and teaching the kids how to cut up the American flag. We got to watch that shit in the 80s. My parents
What?
yeah, that, and we also had the what was the nuclear war movie we had?
The Day After.
Day after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. It explains why our generation is so messed up because you basically are growing up like, oh, we're gonna be nuked tomorrow. So
Yeah.
Oh, that hasn't
Hey,
changed.
David, when I went to high school, they showed us the Columbine shooting. They're like, that could happen to us on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that shit hasn't changed. It's just the memes
So,
of how we're
so
all
yeah,
gonna die.
David, I'll fucking cut up a flag any day of the week. We had school shooting. I'd say Nust Vidania bitches. Yeah. Fucking.
I stand corrected. We didn't have school shootings back in my day. So yeah, you're
Well,
right.
do you think that we would all be part of something like the Monster Squad? I mean, obviously at this
I
time
would.
we are.
Hell yeah. Look at this shit. Look, I am in the Monster Squad.
Yeah, we're already there. Look at what we're doing on a weekly
Yeah.
basis.
So
We are the Monster Squad.
So
go ahead, Tony.
I don't know, man, because like this movie, I think could have been really dope. Like, because I wrote down there were two scenes particular that I thought were really dope. It was the one where the kid is like, "Oh, there's a monster in my closet," and the dad's kind of like playing along, and then he opens the closet. He goes, "Ooh, there's a monster," and you saw the mummy. Like that shot was fucking dope. And he goes, "Hey, if you don't stop watching your, if you don't stop acting like this, you can't read your little magazines anymore." And like that reminded me of my childhood. You know, you think you saw something, your parent didn't see it. Or the shot where the werewolf is calling the cop and he's like, Dracula's gonna kill your son. And then it pans and then boom, he's the werewolf. Like
Yeah.
that shot was
That
fucking
was
dope.
a really good shot.
But then fucking you have Dracula driving a car.
Where did he get the car? Did it?
Yeah. So you have
Those
two
hurt.
dope shots like that, and then Dracula's just driving up in a whip, and you're just like, you could become a bat.
That's also one of the like the coolest moments in the movie too, though, is when he drives through the cop car.
Oh, I
What?
thought you were gonna say whenever he turned to a bat and they shot him, and then you see his fucking like bat.
No, that's amazing too. But that
Like
that,
Jeff
that one
Goldblum's
effect,
The Fly, where he's like
Yeah,
half
dude, I was
bat,
like,
half
"Ugh,
man.
gross, kill it.
yeah, the half bat thing, that
Step
thing is
on it.
pretty fucking disgusting. Yeah.
Where did he get the car though? Because 100 years ago, did they have Rolls Royce
No.
vehicles? Like, did they? The vehicle he had, like, so why?
That's
is
the
all-
other thing. No
That was a
way that took
Cadillac
place
Hearse.
100 years
Got it
ago.
Yeah.
from Monster Squad
Like-
Chevrolet.
Yeah, they should have added. They should have added that to like buff up the runtime a little bit, so you didn't have to have a 15-minute intro scene as him at the DMV taking the test.
I will.
What do you mean I don't have the right paperwork?
What do you mean? What do you mean I can't take?
It's all here.
They try to take his picture. They're like, "You're not showing up, sir."
How about the Wolfman too? The question.
Uncle Rico, man.
Who was it?
That's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
No,
Is it really?
It's not.
He's also the guy on the couch in
I'm looking
in
at
Real Genius.
Yeah, the guy in the closet.
Guy in the closet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he. I like all the prosthetic effects. Stan Winston. It was Stan Winston, right? Who did
It
it?
was his team. He had a group of guys do each one. It wasn't Stan Winston did the illustrations for it because obviously, like you said, that they couldn't get too close to Universal's things because they were using them at their
They
theme
were
parks.
pretty fucking close though. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I thought they were better.
Especially
I thought they were better.
Yeah, Gilman looked fucking
Gilman
great.
was awesome.
Yeah, Gilman
He
was
was
definitely
fucking
my
great.
favorite.
That was
I like
Yeah.
I like the werewolf. Like he almost had like an owl look, which I'll
Yeah.
admit, but he also had a super aggressive humanoid look too. I always Wolfman legit scared me back
For
in
the
the
most,
day.
and honestly, they should have been called the Monster
Holy
Squad, not the
shit.
kids. That should
I
have been
think
Yeah.
I don't think that was an accident. I think that it's also meant to be kind
a
of.
double entendre.
I think that was Shane Black's intention. I really do.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you're getting the Avengers of the Universal Monsters together, pretty much, right there. You're assembling a team, but the character design for Gilman and Frankenstein, I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Wow.
Like, yeah, chef's kiss,
Perfect.
for sure.
And for me, Wolfman, the question was always, is there 2 ways to kill the Wolfman? And they give a list of ways to possibly do it. And I think the majority of them happen. Just one happens, the explosion.
No. There's only one way to kill Wolfman, but they do push him out a window with a bomb, and they suggested those 2.
How original.
Yeah.
Like that is such a like an outside of the box kind of like choice for a movie. And this movie's only PG-13.
Yeah.
That
Well,
shit
you
is
get away with
gory.
so much more in the 80s. Like,
Yeah.
making-
Well, they don't show a lot of. They show a lot of. This is what I heard is that the reason that they can get away with it is because yes, it's a bloody movie, but it's not gory, and that they don't show blood coming out of people.
And it's not human either. Like at
Yeah.
monsters, it's okay. They kind of they're like, oh, 'cause they're not
Green.
real people. Yeah.
Green
You
blood.
guys were evil
But no,
in
the
the
Gilman
80s.
fucking bled red though. He got shot in the fucking chest with a shotgun and was like bleeding out.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, because it's animal cruelty. I guess it
Yeah.
wasn't as big a deal.
Yeah, Tony, we're evil in the 80s because we watched 30-minute propaganda films about cutting up the American flag, okay?
No, 8 minutes in the movie, you have the typical scene of the bully making fun of the fat kid. Yep, he has candy in his hand because that's what fat kids always have. And
They
he's not
did.
just fat, he's also a fat faggot. It's like, can he just,
Within the first 5 minutes,
can
they
he
do
just be,
Dude,
It's
yeah,
like
can he just be one?
he would have loved growing up in the 80s.
Yeah, fat shaming and homophobia within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty close. to
Dude,
what
Dude,
it
if
was
that
like.
movie, if that movie was remade today, he would have been called Brave, and the bully would have clapped him off.
You take your Snickers and
But
go,
that's
young
the thing
fella.
about it. It's locked in its own time capsule. You could never make that again today.
Yeah.
No.
I love it when Frankenstein's showing the kids child porn and he's got the picture of the naked girl and they're all
And
jumping
they're all
up trying
jumping
to
up
grab
to get
it.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
child
hey.
porn, man. They
Oh, I
have
see it
specified. I think
too.
she's 18-ish.
Can I ask?
Definitely
That
looks
is
pretty
one
green.
weird.
Oh, hey, Horace, can you change your name to Matt Gates? You need to change that.
There was one weird scene. There was one weird scene where it's like they find out one of the dude's sisters isn't a virgin. And then the old German guy goes to the little girl who's like 5. She's a virgin, and it's just like
No, he doesn't.
Like,
No, he
it's
doesn't.
like
You're wrong. You're wrong. Eugene asks if she's a
Yeah,
virgin.
she's like,
And
is
he
she-
confirms it.
okay, that's
No,
still a
no.
weird question
But
to ask
then
a
German's
child.
like,
What did
"Oh,
you
I
see
don't know,
that,
maybe."
Tony? Tony,
Maybe.
you didn't watch the documentary, did you?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. It's really there's a scene in there that cut out, or they actually checked for her hymen, and it's like they had to cut it out. It was just so they had to cut it out. I mean, it was the 80s, but they cut it out.
Canceled.
No.
It's not me.
No.
It's not me.
No.
It's the documentary.
No.
I didn't say it.
David,
Did you guys watch the documentary?
No! David, no!
The
Look,
original
this is-
name of the
this is-
documentary was Wolfman Scott Hyman. but
Yeah,
they had to change it.
exactly.
This is what took me.
Dude,
This is what took me out of the movie. It was the part where
It took Ethan
the
out
whole
of the
middle of
cast.
the
All
movie.
right, guys, it was nice talking.
All right,
The whole
Austin,
middle
bring
of
us
the
back.
movie.
go ahead, Austin. Say
No,
it.
this
Say
is
it.
what this is what took me out of the movie. The whole middle of the movie is, hey, let's take a break from blackmailing my sister with a nude photo to go meet up with the guy who's probably a Nazi.
Yes.
Those are the heroes of the story.
They had
This
they
was
had
wild,
the,
man.
it was I love the pressuring her of the first time I've ever seen revenge porn in a movie where they're just like, we have
In a
nude
kids'
shots
movie.
of you. Yeah, we're gonna use this if you don't do what
What the
we
fuck
say.
was going on in the 80s, man?
I just so we
Was-
a lot of
Was
flags
everybody
were
a
being
peeping
cut.
Tom?
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Only guys from the 50s.
is it make it worse that the guy who was probably over 150 years old took the picture too, the Frankenstein monster?
Oh yeah,
He didn't
that's
even
right.
know though.
Yeah.
He just snapped it at the right time. He's like, "Ooh."
He had a great. I loved his reaction, bro. That was a
Yeah.
good Frankenstein reaction.
Well, Let's curve it.
Bogus.
Let's try to bring it
Bogus.
back somehow and salvage this after that. Woo! That's
Oh,
all I
hey
have to
guys, I just got an email. I got canceled from shows I'm not even on yet.
say.
Yeah, wow. Would you look at that? I just got a text saying my mom said I can't podcast with y'all anymore. Sorry,
Hey,
guys.
David, I just got a tweet. Matt Gates, big fan of yours.
Hey guys, I'm headlining CPAC. It's so cool.
Oh my god! All
Well,
right,
we're fucked. None of us are running for president. Next topic.
that's fine. Let's go to the monsters themselves. Like these are recreations in a lot of ways. What across the board? Did you guys have a favorite? Ethan, did you have a favorite monster in this that you enjoyed? You got Dracula.
Frankenstein, dude.
Because
He
he's
was so
sloth.
charming throughout the whole movie. He was sloth.
He was
yeah.
sloth. Yeah.
You got me there.
But
I-
go ahead, Jay.
The only regret I have with Frankenstein as a character development is he doesn't have like as you all know, I'm a big wrestling fan. He doesn't have that face turn moment. Like he doesn't have that drive to be a good guy. He just is supposed to murder them and she's like, he's friends now. Like I think that was a waste opportunity, and I thought that even 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have done something where he came to kill him. He hits one of the kids, and then she's there, and she goes, "Sir," and then has like that
Something.
interaction from. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
I wanted to know why Dracula kept calling him old friend. What was the connection between the two other than they were monsters? You know what I mean?
Sounded
Like,
like he saved him from the doctor or something like
You answered
that.
your own question, bro. They're
No,
all
you're right.
monsters.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Jake, did you have a favorite monster in this?
Yeah, probably Frankenstein or Gilman. But I was gonna say, I remember going to the movie store as a kid, or the fucking home theater rental, whatever it be, it take home video or Blockbuster or whatever, and I saw a cover for a Frankenstein movie with a little girl on there handing the Frankenstein like a dandelion. I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but I thought that's what they draw inspiration from.
Oh no, that's directly from the original Frankenstein. There's
Right.
the little girl sitting there handing the dandelion.
Exactly. So
And
I
so
think
when
they-
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think that was just kind of the correlation between the little girl being able to turn the monster so quickly. Like, I don't know.
Well, in the original Frankenstein, she's sitting by the lakeside, just as the same thing here, and she hands him a dandelion, and she shows like pop the head off, throw it in, and he ends up, she's like, it's pretty, so he's like, pretty, so he picks her up and he throws her in,
Right.
and that's the catalyst for the mob coming after him. So they did that scene kind of similar, because if you've seen the original movie, you're gonna be like, oh no, he's gonna kill this little girl, and then they inverse it where he's the gentle giant.
I got worried. I thought that's what they were going to do. I got kind of like,
Yeah, I don't want to see it, especially after it sets it up with Dracula being like, kill the kids.
Bitch.
Yeah.
I tell you, another thing about these Universal monsters is they're all, besides the Wolfman and Dracula, they're all pretty slow.
Yeah, they
they're-
are.
They're really slow. There's nothing real scary about them chasing after you.
Yeah, why would
But
you?
I think- I feel
fucking
like-
mummy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a mummy gonna do to you, anyways? Like, and they.
But
had the
I feel like they
version-
could have made him scary though, because Michael Myers is the slowest killer.
Yeah, but just in general, like the idea of the mummy, like even in the 30s, like what the fuck are you afraid of this
Yeah.
fucking dead fucking thing?
I like the mummy's
The
death
shit out
scene
of it.
though. I like the mummy's death scene was pretty dope. That's
That
the
was
being
great. Unraveled.
unraveled.
Classic.
That was cool.
So what
They
I
could have
love the part
given
where,
Gilman good.
I love the part where Gilman, where the kid drops the Twinkie in the water, and Gilman comes out and he's like, ah, and they all run off. But then they're like 10 feet away. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna chase them.
Yeah, that's too much
old for
effort.
this.
He just wanted a fucking Twinkie, though.
Yeah, he got the Twinkie.
He came over,
wins.
he's like, hey, fucking creature took my goddamn Twinkie.
Pretty good stuff. I mean,
They all had ulterior motives.
but I agree. They were all very slow and they all went out. Like Gilman went out like a bitch. Like there's no denying it. I mean, the fat kid took him out, and I can say that because they called him that.
Bruh.
On the subtitles, that was
Horace though, man, like he was a hero by the end of that movie. You say his fucking name, he is Horace.
Oh, my
Agreed.
bad, Horace. Horace.
But I feel like Fat Kid is his biological name. I think
That is his given name?
He does kind of wear it like a badge of honor towards the end of it. So he does kind of like, stand up for himself. It is a great movie, like as far as an anti-bullying type kind of movie. It does have some definite like, especially with Rudy helping out in the beginning, Frankenstein kicking the shit out of Dracula. It is, I think it really is supposed to be an empowering movie. Even on the thinnest of levels, it really is. I think it strives to be quite a few times.
Well, I like how they make the bully like when they come across the bully again, and it's not letting the kid in. It's like it's showing the bully to be a super coward.
Hmm.
And by the way, that kid that played the bully has got such a punchable face.
He's been in other stuff too.
Yeah, Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Jason Hervey. He was he was
He was
on
in Back
Wonder
to the
Years.
Future.
He was the older brother. He was
He's the annoying kid in Pee-wee's Big
he
Adventure,
had
wasn't
Pee
he?
Wee's bike.
Yeah.
I
What
want
was
to
he
punch
in
him right
Back
now.
to the Future? What did he play?
He had a
Oh, the
small cameo
brother.
in the first
Yeah,
one,
the first one. Yeah, the family.
where he was in the family in the 50s.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jake, what were you going to say about the subtitles?
They called him the fat kid in the subtitles.
Yeah, I mean, even the subtitles, whenever Horace was talking, they called him Fat Kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like Fat
Who
Kid,
thought-
colon, and then what he had to say.
Who thought Horace was going to turn around and shoot his bullies with the shotgun? 'Cause
That's
when he
a
turned
different
around,
movie.
It looked like
It's a completely different movie.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like
like,
he
the
was about
name
to
is
point the
Horace.
gun.
I was really hoping for that.
Monster
Yeah.
Squad 2, The Monster Within.
They got the face
Monsters
turned with
the whole
Frankenstein.
time.
They got the
Make
heel
that
turn
happen,
Horace.
Ethan, and write that script. Let's do it.
Make it happen.
I think it's kind of like Tony said earlier. The movie is pretty thin on storyline, though. It's a lot of just, I guess, small set pieces. And for me, it's just seeing the monsters themselves that's exciting to me, and seeing the kids. Each of the kids doesn't have a super clear defined personality, but they have great one-liners throughout this.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it's very thin. I mean, it only runs an hour and 22 minutes. It's next to nothing. But could there be a sequel series to this? I think so. And there's been talk about doing it where they have like the adults be the kids, of course, and have their own kids and have something happen that, the monsters get to come back again. It could be interesting, but somebody did say earlier, Stranger Things, it would have to have that vibe. I'm shocked they didn't go for that once Stranger Things became a success. So but once again, do you have two competing shows about a group of kids doing that? I don't know if that works.
It would get eaten alive just like it did back then from the Lost Boys. I think they would have to update it if they were to make like a TV show out of it. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Like a Monster of the Week type deal where a new one comes out of the void and they have to deal with it and try to figure out how to
Now
send
we're
it back
writing
or something.
Now, is anyone going to point
like
out the fact that
Watch the shit
the-
out of that.
the
Mhm.
fact that even the void itself is a complete ripoff of Evil Dead 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought
Oh, yeah.
that, and how many fences were around? I didn't see any fences, but there
A
was a
lot
lot,
of
getting,
fences.
there's a lot of
A
fences
lot
getting
of-
sucked into that.
I
thing.
know.
Also-
Well, after the limbo opened up, also or closed off for the last time, it's almost like you can see somebody offset throwing one of the fences. You don't see it, but you just kind of see it like, oh, and the portal closes up.
I also like that Van Helsing knows how to do the thumbs up. Like at the
Yeah,
very end.
I never got that. I was like, what the fuck? He's just like, yeah, you got him for me, kid.
Like
Just
Chuck
like-
Norris
According to
was in-
plan.
How does he even know that? Like, was that even a thing back 100 years ago?
Before he showed up, he watched Terminator.
Yeah,
Okay.
Second
Okay.
one, he had a CT2, man.
Yeah.
Who off thou
I mean-
goeth unto thee, for thee shall shout the death day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony,
yeah.
what were you gonna say?
I don't know. I think my biggest issue with this movie is because, like, one of my all-time favorite movies is J.J. Abrams' Super 8.
Oh my god.
And what I loved,
Love
I
it.
love Super 8 is
good movie.
it's
good movie.
what I loved about Super 8 is it was a group of friends that just loved making movies, and they were making a movie, and boom, they interacted with the monster, the creature. It seemed like, oh, this could have happened in any neighborhood. This could have happened in any town to any group of friends. But this one, it was just like, so they're obsessed with monsters. They have a group called the Monster Squad, and now all these monsters are monsters. It just,
You know
it was just
what?
monster. It's like,
At least they didn't have a bomb with a fucking disarm button, Tony. That's all that matters.
that's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
Tony, what you're doing is you're comparing one movie that was written really well to a movie that wasn't written at all. A movie
Yeah,
that was just an idea on a napkin.
Dude, I
basically.
feel like the little girl probably wrote the movie. She goes like Dracula and the mummy, and then he has the werewolf has a hammer, and then he's strong.
What was that? Wasn't there a cartoon about a dinosaur and a guy with an axe written by a 5-year-old kid that was on Cartoon Network?
Actually,
Oh yeah.
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 It was on Fox.
It was on
X-Cox,
Fox.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
But yeah, I mean, Tony, Super 8 is a great movie. It's written very well. It's scary. It's got some of the scariest scenes when that in the gas station scene and on the bus when the monster attacks the bus. It's got some very heartfelt scenes. The two families, the daughter of the one guy that killed the guy's mom. Just that whole thing. So it's got layers upon layers upon layers. This one is just like literally a napkin.
I feel like that formula only works if the characters and the kids, you relate to them and you like them. And the kids in this movie are very forgettable. The remake of It only works because those kids are so good.
So good.
That's why they had to put
Because
him
even when Pennywise wasn't there, you're like, I'm so interested because I love being with these group of characters. Where this one just felt like they were all forgettable. Like there was another kid pops up. I'm like, oh yeah, he's in the friend group.
He's one of them. Yeah.
Well, they're misfits. I think misfits in and of themselves are kind of looked at as the disenfranchised. I mean, I'll tell you this much: growing up as a kid in the 80s, I wasn't the most popular. I could have definitely fallen through the cracks. I wasn't remarkable by any stretch of the imagination, but every single kid in this movie were like friends that I had. We were all kind of dorks and not really understood. And so
I was cool, Jay. Do you think I was going around slinging my dick in high school?
You were the Rudy of your high school.
But you didn't go to high. Did you go to high school in America or did you go to high school abroad?
No, here in America, dude.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in Germany.
They gave me a Letterman for videotaping the soccer games. I'm like, you should not give me a Letterman because people aren't going to be kind to me. They're like, we're going to get you a Letterman. And I was right.
Well, they outlawed bullying in the 90s because they were afraid of more Columbines happening.
Yeah,
anyway.
how that worked with the war on drugs also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
Lots
it's
more
just
drugs
outlawed.
nowadays.
Nobody can do it ever.
But I think you're bringing up a
Organic.
good point here. I think nostalgia plays into this because as a child, you can see yourself in these roles. As an adult, and David said it earlier when he made the joke, it's harder because we forget how difficult school was. I know for me personally, it was a fucking nightmare. But as you get older and older and older, unless you have PTSD like I do, you tend to forget how horrible it was.
Yeah, who
And it
gives
was
a shit?
bad.
We've already gone through it. I gave it up. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's
Boom,
your
done.
turn. You have to go through it now also. I don't fucking...
It's weird, guys.
Yeah.
My wife's a high school teacher, and sometimes I have to go up to the school to watch her kids play or something. And every time I walk into that school, I feel very uneasy and it does bring back a lot of weird memories. And I walk in, and it's
Mhm.
like I can't wait to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. School
Yeah.
sucked. School sucked for a lot of
Yeah.
people, but this is the group of friends you had that had your back. And so you were the unpopular kid. You know, you had the kid that liked the weird thing, which was the monsters, or like we were saying earlier, Marvel or DC or video games, as you see in the background here, or whatever it was we glom onto, the Hot Wheels like Jake Scott, the creatures that David has behind him, whatever we found that became our obsession later in life, that was our safe zone. You know, I went to a store recently and I started getting really high anxiety. And I noticed above it was a movie trading company, and there was a bunch of dolls of like Mario, Luigi, and all the characters from Nintendo. And all of a sudden, I started calming down because it was something that centered me, made me feel comfortable. Those are my friends up there, and so there's something about surviving it and having that group of friends. And with this movie, this group of friends, they get to actually do something that's great. So at the end, whenever he's like, who are you? Which I didn't notice he was making the cards. I was trying to figure out what the heck he was cutting up whenever they did the montage. And whenever he hands them the card, I was like, okay, this moment's so cheesy, but it's kind of earned in the same sense because it's just a fun little like. And I was still shocked that the army showed up, like because the monsters were there. That was so ridiculous.
That was so out of place.
Dude.
Yeah.
What much of an army was it?
God,
What are you talking about? The army.
It's a fucking
12
letter
guys?
written in crayon saying, "Hey, army guys, come here, monsters here."
Hey!
Fucking show up.
Hey, it makes sense though. Trump wrote an letter to the army in crayon, and he was like, "There are hipsters in Portland," and the army showed up. So that stands true.
proven.
That stands true. Yeah.
And let's not forget that Eugene was rocking a Confederate infantry hat while he was writing that
Yeah.
letter.
Like a Civil War, fucking yeah.
But I mean, that's another product of the '80s. Like in the '80s,
Oh my god.
and I'm not even sure when they got rid of it. You could completely do a photo shoot at Six Flags in like full
yeah.
Confederate garb.
Full garb.
You
Oh,
could.
Full garb. They're like, yeah, come on, I got it. It's
They just got rid of the flag last decade, right? They, like I think like 10 years ago.
Dude,
Hey, they're
every
like Six
Friday,
Flag. They're
every,
like Six Flag. Guess our favorite one.
every when I was a kid growing up, every Friday night at 8, bro, Dukes of Hazzard, I was in it.
Yeah.
Until Bo and Luke got out and they brought in their cousins, and I was
Yeah.
like, this ain't Dukes of Hazzard.
No,
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
these
of course
guys.
not.
Fuck these guys.
Well, how about the Monster Squad? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about this movie? Any other little points? Like Jay just brought up the Confederate flag, just like little moments, because this movie is made up of little moments that sit in our memory for a long period of time. You know, the Wolfman's Got Nards is one of the biggest, most quotable things from the 80s period done. You know, that a moment that stays with you because it's an empowering moment, like you guys said earlier, whenever the fat kid gets his moment to shine because he was afraid, he was a coward, he didn't want to go in the building. And whenever he steps up to the plate and knocks him right in the balls.
He had two moments, man. He kicked the fucking Wolfman in the fucking dick, and he fucking killed the Gill Man with a shotgun.
Right.
Yeah.
When did the batteries drop for you guys?
I don't
If it
know.
did at all.
Ooh.
If
I
it
don't
did
know
at
if they
all.
ever did in this movie.
Like Tony said, the mummy scene in the closet. I thought that was a really cool scene. I wouldn't know if the batteries dropped all the way, but they were loose in the packaging.
I was just so
Probably
pissed
when,
off
like-
at the dad for not even like giving it a look in the closet though. Like,
Yeah.
just take a glance over there. That's all you have to do. Just
I love that. I love that
Yeah,
kind of
like,
cheesy shit. It's like, yeah, I love that though.
Yeah.
Just him going like, because you know he had to do that the day before probably, and he
course.
went in. So he's just like, come
And he
on,
was-
dude.
And he was trying to get laid. I mean, obviously, he's like, you can't sleep with me and your mom tonight. Like, it's not happening because he's trying to make more kids.
Yeah, I'm trying to make another idiot like you.
Put more monsters in these closets.
Yeah, one more monsters.
Ethan,
Hey,
what were you
they
gonna
had
say?
a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ethan?
Dracula hunting the kids. That when he actually starts going after them, blows up the treehouse. I think that is when
Oh, I
batteries
forgot
drop.
about that.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fucking threw dynamite in a treehouse. Like,
By
he
the
didn't
way,
go there,
That was a
you know what?
dope treehouse too.
I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm not
I-
sure.
Smart.
They
Yes.
can't reconvene here.
That treehouse was kick ass.
That
That was
treehouse
so
was
damn
fun.
cool.
It looked like that was
Mad
straight
at-
out of the Ewok village. That thing was fucking built.
I was
Like,
mad at Stan Shaw for not getting out of the cop car.
Yeah, that was
Right
dumb.
after that, whenever he's
They
like,
didn't address that at
he
all.
threw dynamite underneath me, and then,
Yeah.
come on, dude, get out of the fucking car. There's a
I- yeah.
Dracula here.
I also love.
Dracula.
I just realized the letter written in crayon to the military. The military is like, we should go check it out.
Yes.
But the dad got like
Oh,
19
shit.
different phone calls and was like, hey, stop prank calling me, kids. And the military's like, one letter, good enough for us. You know, we got this military.
It's
budget
written in
from the
really
Reagan
nice
admin-
red Crayola. We just got to.
I think they were all from a Make-A-Wish Foundation. They thought it was a dying kid. They wrote the fucking request in crayon. So
Yeah.
they showed up. They're like, holy shit, there's real monsters here. We gotta sit in the back, wait till
Was
the
it-
limbo thing is done spinning, and then, hey, where's the kid at? He asked for the army guys.
I did enjoy the husband and wife arguing. That felt really authentic. Like this is
Layered.
like
Yeah.
this is
Give
like
it
a
a
really
little layer.
yeah.
You know they're gonna get a divorce because when the Dracula was in front of the house, he very easily emptied his entire gun into the house. knowing
Into the
his
house.
wife was in there.
Yeah.
I thought the same
He
fucking
didn't think
thing.
twice
Like,
about
what
that.
was
He was
that?
Yeah, that was funny.
Two
2 birds with 1 stone.
Tony, what were you gonna say?
The divorce thing, yeah, it was good acting and it felt real, but it felt out of the place. Like for those moments, you're just like, am I in like a drama now? Like it just felt a little out of like
Why
there
would
was
you
no,
add it?
yeah, there was no other drama because there was one scene where the little girl was like, "Are you gonna yell at him?" And she goes, "No, me and your dad love each other." And I was like,
It was
"Oh
like,
shit!"
no, I'm
It's like
talking
a-
about my fucking brother, you dumb fuck.
no, but like as a kid of divorce, I was like, "Oh, that's like a real fucking moment." And then like those kids never had another. I felt like there was never another real moment like that.
Oh, what about
Yeah.
when the Wolfman is like screaming like you have to kill me, or what was it? Like I can't stop myself. I thought that was a really cool scene. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
They blew up the one guy that was trying to help him, the Wolfman. He was trying to help him.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like even he didn't know how he could like stop his suffering.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the battery drop moment is absolutely when they blow him up because that scene where you see
Mhm.
him reincorporate was
That was dope.
absolutely
Terminator 2,
the
man.
first time I'd ever seen anything like that, and it gave me a whole new appreciation for how badass Wolfmen were in the pantheon of movie monsters. I'm like, fuck what you heard. Wolfmen are not
Holy Wolf.
are not to be trifled.
I mean, he's legit terrifying. As a child, the Wolfman was the one that got me. Like Dracula's presence was there. The Mummy, the Gillman, they can go fuck themselves. But Wolfman, like I said, with that weird like 1989 Batman thing where he can't move his head at all, he just like that worked for me. It just made him even more terrifying. And it's a damn good version of the Wolfman too. Like it's a, I don't know if it's an animatronic or what, if it's a puppet. Like he jumped up like a Muppet at one point, but it's just a damn good Wolfman. So
I mean, I to me, nothing will beat The Howling. I think The Howling is one
Oh,
of the
that
best.
was perfect.
The best Wolfman transitions and Wolfman just all together is so cool. But this is a close second.
So you're a Rob Bottin fan, I take it?
The Thing, bro,
Yeah.
he's amazing, man. That guy's a fucking artist.
Austin, how about you? Was there a moment in this movie that turned around for you, or just kind of, or is there anything you enjoyed out of it? Seeing as you didn't-
I mean, it gave me some laughs, but no, there was, in fact, I think I enjoyed it more in the beginning, and there was more moments in the middle of the movie where I was just like, I don't know that I fucking like this movie. I don't think I'm enjoying this.
Go ahead, Tony.
So I just looked up in 2019, Decker and Shane Black were approached to make a Monster Squad TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it fell through.
It was to be a continuation. It was to be a sequel series to this movie. Yeah, with the adults being the kids and then their kids. It's the same thing with the Goonies too. They tried to make for years where they would bring back all the characters. And the kid who played
Supposedly still
Horace,
in production.
is it still the Goonies too? The
They keep
Groonies is
saying
what they
that
were
it's
calling it.
still, like, they're
No, I think that would have been I think that could have been a cool TV show where it's like Monster Squad, where it's like every week. And not like, hey, let's bring the kids back as adults or whatever. But it's like a group of kids in high school, and then every week a new monster shows up and they have to defend their town from Dracula and then from the Mummy.
Shit.
Like that, I think would have been really cool.
Yeah, But did you see Black and Decker's last outing? A little movie called.
You're really
The
quiet, Jake.
Predator? Yeah, sorry.
What was it called, Jake?
The Predator,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
the newest Predator movie. That was
Oh.
Shane Black and
Ugh.
Fred Decker also, and
Oh.
I don't know if they got the
But that
spots
was-
anymore.
Yeah.
That was also a movie though that I've read. The studio really kind of fucked
Oh.
with the creative process of it.
Release the black cut.
Release the black cut.
I want to see Zack Snyder's Monster Squad.
He said this before.
The Snyder
Zack Snyder
Squad.
should just remake other people's movies at this point. Like
Please.
it's always the
Just
Snyder
do it.
cut, and he goes in and he tweaks it. Yeah, I think that we pretty much said everything there is to say about this movie. So let's go down the line and see if we recommend it. So, Horace, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. If you are maybe Ethan's age, yeah, I would recommend it. If you're my age and you haven't fucking seen it, don't bother. But yeah, I definitely watch it if you were younger.
Yeah, it's definitely for the kiddos. I mean, it's a bit
I'm
nostalgic.
not
too.
calling Ethan a kid.
Yeah,
I'm just
how old is
saying-
Ethan? No wonder he got so offended at my
Ethan
joke.
is
My God, he's
15,
12?
dude.
Oh, he's 15. Okay. That makes
Okay.
sense now.
He's already
Okay,
got
guys.
his
Okay.
doctorate.
We'll get to you, Ethan. Jay,
Okay.
what do you think? Recommend?
For the new age person, I would say if you like Stranger Things, then you should give this a shot. But if you're not into Stranger Things and things like that, I don't think it's for you. I don't think this is the one that's gonna get you.
Yeah.
But so it's I'm on the fence about it.
All right, David, what do you think? Recommend or no?
If I knew a kid that was 9 years old that lived in a parallel universe that was still in 1987, I would totally recommend this movie.
Right on. Time and place. Tony, how about you? Recommend or no?
I think if you're into like cheesy horror movies, it's a good movie to invite some friends over, smoke weed, and have a good time because it's short. You know, it's one of those, hey, let's talk over it and have a good time with it kind of movie.
I think that
And
would
then
make
when,
a huge
then when the wolf man gets kicked in the nuts, you're like, hey, everyone, watch this one scene.
Darn.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Yep.
high art.
Austin, do you recommend or no?
Unless you're in a horror movie podcast or you're babysitting Ethan, I would say no. I don't
Ethan,
suggest this movie.
Ethan, what you think?
Since this is a pattern we're going with here, unless you're like the rest of these dinosaurs and have lost touch with your inner child,
Yes.
I actually would recommend this movie because I actually am still in touch with my inner child, unlike the rest of these fuckers. So,
Yeah.
oh well, I enjoyed it. 2 thumbs up from me.
I think I will recommend it, of course. It does have its time and place. Like a lot of these movies, nostalgia plays a huge part into it. But with that said, I think whoever just said watch it with your friends and get high. Yeah, Tony, was that you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it. I think it would make a huge difference. I think that this is a movie you enjoy. If you've seen it, you share it with somebody else. And like you said, whoever said you point out that one part, and you can turn to somebody and be like, well, that was kind of cool. And also the visual effects, they hold up. We didn't talk much about
They
that.
hold up really well.
They hold up super well in this movie, and everything seems real. Go ahead, Tony.
That's one thing I'm jealous of y'all that got to grow up in movies in the 80s where computer generated shit did not exist. And if you wanted to make a movie like this, you had to go full prosthetic.
Everything's in camera.
Yeah, everything's in camera, and it's like it works. It really does.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I have a suggestion. I think this would be a great movie to watch with the volume down. Each one of us is assigned a character, and we watch it,
Oh, yeah.
and we do the voices of that character.
You know
We
what?
should definitely do that.
We need to do the
Yeah,
camp
for real.
slash cut of this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
That needs to be a thing.
I am
Backwards, by the way.
totally down.
Yeah, we pick a scene. We pick a
Yeah,
scene, and we
and we don't, and it's all improv. So like nothing is scripted.
Yep.
We just watch the movie. You're this character, and then also one of us is in charge of just doing sound effects. And so whatever happens, you do the sound
I'll
effects.
call
for
Michael
that.
Winslow. I'll call Michael Winslow now.
I can call him if you want.
Wait, Michael. Yep, he's pretty free. He's pretty free.
Harvey, Will, and I do this like weekly with movies. Like fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000.
There we go.
We need to
yeah.
do it.
All right.
It's
boys.
actually I was gonna say, did you ever hear of something in the 80s called Mad Movies? It was an improv troupe in LA, and what they would do is they would play old films from like the 40s and 50s, cut out the dialogue, and they would improv dialogue over it. So live. Live. They would do it live in a theater. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So basically just that. So let's make it happen, Ethan.
Let's do it.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast. All right, boys, let's get to the Monster Scood clips. So let me know if you all can see that. The good.
Yep.
Good practical effects.
Great
killer.
shot. Great shot.
And
Killer.
the soundtrack, guys.
Yeah.
I love that he just
soundtrack.
grew his suit and cape from his skin. Mm.
Science.
I think
Dude, the
science
principal is such a creep.
is
I dig it, dude.
Science is cool.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
Did y'all ever have any teachers or professors or anything do that to y'all?
Oh.
No, I just had a teacher that touched me.
I was going to say.
Look what
No, I'm
Jesus
kidding,
did!
I'm kidding,
Look
I'm
what
kidding, I'm
Jesus did!
Yeah.
My favorite scene in Ted.
Exactly.
Kids are mean.
Yes,
They are. Kids are mean as fuck.
Fat kid, can't you stop eating?
No.
Look, I have a glandular problem, okay? At least I don't have a stupidity problem.
Boom.
My man.
Sick burn.
Looks
Sick burn.
more like you have 100 glandular problems.
Hey, can I say something? That's
Yeah.
actually kind of like a play-by-play. The first time I met David Jessup at an open mic.
You see it.
Who was who?
I was the kid with the glandular problem.
I was the kid with the gorgeous feathered hair.
You say, Horace.
Rudy, eat. Rudy, I'm not gonna sit
Eat
here
up.
and eat. And we'll call it a day.
Hey!
Yeah, I love that look Fat Kid gives like, fuck yeah.
That was not acting.
Now,
No,
you see
that
in the
was
background, it was the little creepy children from the movie Village of the Damned. They're just in the background right there.
Funny, you should mention that because the guy who plays the best friend was Job in Children of the Corn.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Look at that connection.
So I thought this was a perfect
I
comic
mean,
bit.
in the Monster Squad, who is that? The one with the really smoke show sister. That one.
The mouth of the group.
I
Yeah,
want to
Mal.
see. I want to see a side story of Malachi. Sorry.
The perfect
I'm
bit.
depressed.
What for?
What do you mean, what for? I'm flying a World War II bomber with wooden crates in it and dead bodies. I should have a party.
Do they complain? Do they get airsick?
They
Do they ask for more of the little almond things?
You're right.
Who is that guy? Not the beard. That guy.
He's in The Sopranos.
Oh.
Do you
He's
remember
talk-
UHF?
Huh?
Rudolph Yankovic, UHF?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he got the fucking staples in his face.
Oh yeah. I
Michael
love
Richards.
UHF.
The N-word guy was hitting him with a staple gun.
The N-word guy. You mean the guy that was on Seinfeld? No, it's the N-word
N-word
guy.
I was impressed. I remember when I was a kid, this like shocked me.
I got a lot of heavy metal vibes watching this.
That's dope.
That is
That's a cool transition.
That was a
That's
good
a dope shot.
I thought more clothes were gonna keep getting pulled off into the just naked Dracula.
It's gonna be a whole different kind of movie.
And it's just Dracula going, Dracula horny.
Discrimination.
you read?
Mom says you have to let me in the club or else it's prescription.
That's discrimination, jerkoid. Prescription drugs which are on
I
it
would-
to keep getting up here.
Come on, Sean.
Maybe he's the jerkoid. Maybe Mom said persecution. That's
Hey, by the way, look at that kick-ass model set behind him.
Oh, look at that, Gilman,
Gilman.
and the creature from This Island Earth.
Yeah,
fuck
good call. Good call,
Yeah.
Dookie.
It's only because Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie, bro. I love that. movie.
Nice.
Stephen King rules on the shirt. That's not bad.
Yeah.
They've got a little bit of everything going on.
That kid kind of looks like Stephen King's kid from Creepshow. At first, I thought it was him. Remember Stephen King's kid in Creepshow?
Yeah. Joe. Yeah, Joe
Yeah.
Hill. And then he also was it? I think Shane Black either wrote or helped write Night of the Creeps. And there's a part in that. There's a part in that movie where it written on like a wall somewhere. It says Monster Squad rules or something.
Oh, that's funny.
One thing I did like about this movie, though, is the main character and his dad's relationship to movies. Because I feel like a lot of the tropes in these kind of movies, and you get that in Super 8, where it's like they want to make movies, and the dad's like, you kids why don't you read a book or do homework? Where this dad is like, hey, let's go see it tomorrow, and then he joins them, and they're watching the movie through the binoculars. That was
that actually felt real as opposed
I like
to
that scene a lot.
Yeah,
Steven
that was cool.
March, man.
And he could tune into the right frequency for the movie. What a perfect what great real estate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but he was watching at an angle. I was like, maybe I would have just jumped over a few
That
houses.
shot is super cool. I remember
Yeah.
thinking that even back then. That's a really awesome shot of a
Good setup.
drive-in. Yeah.
2 ways to kill a werewolf.
Silver bullet?
And?
That's it. Shoot him with a silver bullet.
Nope, sorry, Rudy.
Okay, so what's the other way?
And none of them know.
Hairs on your neck from shaving.
Full moon.
Cuffs on him. I got it. What do you want to bet I could throw a football over that moon?
We'd have beaten these kids and Dracula would have put me in quarter.
It's a pretty cool fight scene.
Yeah.
Where he throws the motherfucker through the glass is great.
So this is where it's the dump. Like this scene happened, and then there's a few scenes later where he calls the dad, and he goes, "Hey, like fucking get me." The dad's like, "Oh, it's a prank call." I'm like, dude, he already attacked the cops once. Like,
Yeah.
How
So
would
that-
a prank caller know that a werewolf escaped, got shot, and revived? And yeah, you're right.
yeah, that's where like that plot hole really like just lost me. Like I felt like the dad should have already been on edge. Like, oh, there's something.
We got a mummy on the loose. Now
Yeah.
Jesus.
Maybe they were keeping that one under wraps.
Oh, God.
Muppet.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
That was a quick one.
Nice clip. Oh yeah.
Hey, he was a Muppet.
Straw-
The boys. So it reminded me of the meme where they all show up together.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, back.
I got a fucking silver cane, bitch.
Defibrillator
Gyros.
Kane.
It looked like he was giving him ear pods, like he was going to listen to a Walkman or
Yeah,
something.
he's like, I want you to hear my mixtape. Before I
do
awake
y'all-
you.
Why do y'all think they used like Germany as a backdrop? Was Transylvania also copyrighted by Universal, you think?
They
They're like
used Transylvania
Bavaria.
by name.
Like,
and-
why not use fucking Latin? Or anything
There you go.
else?
Jay, it's because Germans are inherently evil people.
We all know.
Yeah.
We're just inherently evil.
Y'all for sure you're evil.
Monsters Incorporated. This is the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, monsters.
So good. So good.
Listen,
Maybe if the kid would fucking open his mouth every once in a while, I'd be like, no, for real, there's a monster in there.
Our time down
Oh
here,
man,
Steve.
that kid farted. Did not can't you hold it? God damn it, would you shut up? Did you hear a word I said? The guys are dead. Get a clue? Something's out there and it's killing people. And if it's monsters,
Yeah,
nobody
that kid's
farts.
By the way, props to that dog. That dog was in a shit ton of scenes.
And he was with them through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
So this was we were talking about earlier the Frankenstein scene that is copied from the original Frankenstein movie. So this kind of bleeds into the next one. But that's almost an exact shot without the montage.
It's pretty cool.
And the way he shows up, you'd really think like, uh-oh.
She's dead.
Boys, time is almost up. It's your last chance for pie.
Thanks.
Here we go.
No thanks.
Look at that Pepsi Cola. You guys remember those cans?
Oh yeah,
I do.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember the cans? Yeah. Oh wait.
You guys remember hanging out with the crazy old German guy down the street from you?
He gave us pie.
Those were good times.
Every town had a crazy German guy.
Yeah, bro. You know, you go hang out with him, let him read stories about Van Helsing to you.
No, that's how Germany after World War II, they're like, we need massive, we need to bring Germany back. We're going to send a nice German to every town. Every town, and we will give you cake.
Yeah, the ones that didn't make it, they all went to NASA at first, and the ones that didn't make it were assigned to the suburbs to feed books to children.
So I think it's the proper reaction. Yep.
Here's an interesting thought,
bro.
Here's an interesting thought. I just realized. I literally just thought of this. Frankenstein, I believe, is the only monster that we see during the day.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
You're right.
I think you are 100% correct. Scary. This is just kind of sad, but I thought this was a good character moment.
What's sad?
Oh.
They did Frankenstein really well.
Tom Noonan, man.
I was sad whenever he left at the end, honestly.
Yeah, I like the character a lot.
That's a great shot right there.
That's
really
so
is.
good.
The music also.
Oh yeah.
I love that shot.
Yeah, the score and the scene itself is great.
Like, cause that scene right there, it's like they finally really became the Monster Squad. A monster actually joined.
Yes,
they're
part of the squad. Yep.
Anyone else got gooses? Anyone else got gooses on that one?
I did.
For sure.
That's a great scene.
You ready for the montage?
Everybody dance.
Can I? Oh, yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Drops.
No, but dude, like that last scene, like moments like that, it's really fucking good. Where I was like, I felt
close.
I felt, yeah, where I felt like if they just had worked on scenes like that, like meticulously, I think this could have been a fucking dope movie.
This was a very, very early project for Thomas Dekker and Shane Black. Like, I think if Shane Black, I just think Dekker might have been the wrong choice, but like, yeah, if you could go back, who do you think could have really done this like some justice?
The guy that directed Stand By Me.
Rob Reiner?
Rob
Reiner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Give that man a cigar. Perfect.
Zack Snyder.
What we need is more slow motion.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. You shut up right now.
Look at that.
Hey.
That's the original Fantastic Four cover right there. Can you all see
And I
that?
know this would be, and I know this would be dangerous because there's a lot of kids in the movie. But what about Woody Allen?
There's no Asians, so we'd be fine.
I thought you were gonna say Victor Salva.
I could possibly fucking need these kids.
Hey, scary.
All right, montage. There it is.
So Rudy makes bullets specifically designed for a .38 revolver, which he does not have, mind you. It just so happens that the police have it, and he's anticipating a cop dying, so he can steal the gun to shoot the wolfman with.
He just got as far as making the bullets.
Listen, Jay. When you come from the 1950s and you come through a time machine, you come prepared, bro.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I didn't think of it that like that.
Here's the famous line.
Kick him in the nose! Kick him in the nose! He doesn't have nose! Do it! Wolfman's got nards!
Nards.
Come on!
Wolfman's
So
got
good. So good.
Mummy's Demise.
Solid.
Great shot,
Really
too.
good effect.
The little kid screaming gets me though.
I think-
Just
The part that I liked is whenever the arrow actually hits the tree, and then the line pulls tight, and you see the fucking mummy's eyes go like, "What?
What?"
And it's like, "Fuck!" And then yeah.
That's a that's a dope shot.
Band-Aid breath.
Ooh, burn! Oh,
Fucking
what a piece of. You know what's so great about that little skull rolling? How many times did they have to film that? Because
Yeah.
again,
To get it
no
to land
CGI.
upright.
Yeah, landed upright, perfect, right in the middle of the shot, no CGI.
Ghost car. Still don't understand it, but I'm down for it. Boom.
I think this is the scene that tells the cops that holy shit that
We're
everything
dealing
is
with
real.
something. Yeah, we're dealing with something.
Didn't they do the same thing in Ghostbusters 2 with a ghost car or something like that? Or am I crazy?
There was a ghost train that.
That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
The
This was
King of
before that, though.
Cool.
Who went through Ernie Hudson, correct, or was it?
Dan Aykroyd. I can't remember. I think it was
Yeah,
Ernie
I don't
Hudson.
remember if it was Winston or not. But this is Stan Shaw. His partner is like the B version.
Ernie
of
Hudson.
Ernie Hudson.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just like they throw him in any movie that they couldn't get him.
The King of Cool.
Where you going, Rudy?
I'm in the goddamn club, aren't I?
Fuck yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that kid.
Yeah.
I'm in the goddamn club.
And this is a little bit of
Kids Incorporated.
He reminded me of Tom Cruise from The Outsiders.
He kind of does.
Oh yeah, holy
Soda
shit!
pop.
Yeah.
Damn, Tony.
A little bit of
Yeah.
soda pop.
He just
God,
like
I love The Outsiders.
such a great movie.
Great movie.
Again, group of people you give a shit about. You know, it's
Who directed The Outsiders? Is that De Palma?
No, Coppola.
No, that was
Coppola.
Coppola.
also.
Okay.
Ew, gross. And
They
this
sound
is
the
gross.
same.
Ugh.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Like,
is
just
a
finish him
unusual
there.
scene.
Just
He
go
looks
beat
pregnant.
yourself. If he can't kill him, just go punch him a few times while he's laying down. Like, fuck you, you weird looking.
Kick him in the nards.
But why did the gunshots hurt
Fucking
him
bat
then?
he's a bat.
Bat form, maybe. I
Bad
don't know.
form makes him.
Forced him to transform back.
His combat rating takes a hit. He
Hey,
loses,
Jay.
he loses money on dexterity.
Absolutely.
Jay, what we'll
Disadvantage
do
for the
is
next round.
what we'll do is after this podcast is over, I'll pick you up. We'll get some pistols. Go to Austin. Batcave, and we'll see if bullets really work on bats.
Only if they turn into a human first, though.
Yeah.
I loved how serious the conversation got with Dracula being injured. Well, technically he was in bat form, so that would make sense. Like as you guys were talking, my penis was shriveling up inside of my body.
What's it usually doing?
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say,
usually a
like,
Wait a
wreck.
second, I don't
It's
want to know
fucking full throttle while we're on the
Yeah,
cab.
scary movie.
Hey, Duck, why do you think he has those dolls behind him? Yeah.
All right, come
And
on.
full hard. Never mind, guys. Sorry, I brought it up.
Yeah.
There it is. That's David's penis.
That's so dope. So dope.
This is my favorite part of the whole movie to me.
Yeah.
That's that's
It comes
cool
back
shit.
together. It's cool as fuck.
And it's done so easy. Like you see how easy that was? They had to have the one prosthetic that was like the money prosthetic. The rest is just things on wires that you're just shooing out of the scene.
Yeah.
Just good choice. Really good choice.
And the use of silhouette in this movie, they do it like 3 or 4 times where they show something, a transformation or whatever it be in the shadow. It's wonderful. It's really
Well,
great.
He said that in the documentary, he said that he thought he was going to get fired in the first week. So he took the producer's notes, and almost every single scene starts with this, what you're seeing here, which is what they call the wide shot, that shows the entire scene. Like this movie, they say, has some of the most wide shots ever, especially for a short movie. And like he even mentions in the documentary, you can do like a drinking game where you will die if you do a shot at every
because they do establishing shots nonstop. You're right.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Establishing shots. Yeah, whatever you call it. Yeah.
Gilman goes out like a bitch. It's so cool.
Nice, man.
That's dope.
And speaking of bitches,
Give me the ambulance.
The green is dope.
I love how she was calm all the way through being lifted up, held by her chin, not even her neck. It was like the edge of her face. And it's only when he says something she starts freaking out.
Maybe because hanging out with fucking Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Well, that's another scene.
The monsters aren't scary, and then he's like, "You fucking bitch,
you bitch."
Oh, God.
By the way,
that's what Daddy calls mommy.
I think that little actress, man, she kicked ass in this movie. She was really
great. She was great.
Well, that scene in particular, he had her up by whatever, and he had his eyes closed and his mouth shut. So when he opens his eyes with those contacts and shows her those fangs, her reaction is 100% genuine.
Yeah. Oh,
100%
that's awesome.
genuine.
So cool.
Another good choice.
That was back when you could torment child actors. Huh?
Yeah, man.
And then the actress would go back to a trailer and they're like, "Here, try some heroin. You're old enough."
It was cocaine in the 80s.
We noticed you're getting fat. Here's some cocaine.
Take this, young Drew Barrymore.
I love that you guys called this earlier because I was like, where did he learn to do this?
I'm killing fucking Dracula. This is my goddamn destiny.
All according to plan, my child.
Thumbs up, little monster squad guys.
Hey.
And finally, the name of the movie.
Oh, these kids have it from here. We better be back. Retreat.
Here comes a white guy rapping now.
Oh yeah, of course. They have
always.
Like he listened to Blondie's Rapture and it's like, I could write a movie for Monster Squad.
Want some monsters? Here they come. Look out, kids. We'll have some fun. Monster Squad. Sorry.
I think this is
I have a question.
Yeah,
I have a
question, Tony. Yeah,
do you think a monster universe could happen? Because we've seen good monster movies, we've seen bad monster movies.
Not with Universal.
Like for instance,
not
the
with
Tom
Universal.
Cruise's,
They tried.
the Tom Cruise's Mummy is awful, but then you got Elizabeth Moss, the Invisible Man, which they centered it more as like a drama, and it was amazing. So do you think if like a studio, like a Kevin Feige type, would just be like, okay, we have all these characters.
Shape of Water.
Yeah, let's create different tones. Like for a Dracula, I would want a more big action set piece.
They did.
Yeah,
but if they get a good writer and follow his vision, but that's not the case anymore. They don't.
No, the difference though, by big action set piece, I don't mean like Tom Cruise's like Mummy. Like I don't know, like
You're expecting something like along the Marvel Avengers type thing, right?
They absolutely did that.
Dracula Untold. Yeah, and it failed. They did
was
I,
horrible.
Frankenstein. They did the fucking the Mummy. The only one that's thriving out of the Universal monsters is Kong.
No. You're talking about like the Universal, like these monsters. Dracula Untold with
Dark
Luke
Universe.
Evans. Yeah, the Dark Universe.
Untold was fucking okay.
It's not great.
Was shit. And
but then you get, I don't know.
I think here's the problem. is that the Universal monsters were made in a time that is long gone. And those monsters are just not scary. And I mean, now the Invisible Man was amazing. I loved it, but it was updated, and it wasn't an Invisible Man the way it was different. You know,
it was very sci-fi.
Yeah, it was more sci-fi. It was more like trauma in an abusive relationship.
Yes.
Well, that would be the only way that they could do these movies now, though.
Yeah, I think they could do like a modern day
Wolfman. I mean, fucking The Howling. They could do Howling was amazing the way they did that.
Well, they did Underworld, which was kind of a new age.
Well, they did the Wolfman with Benicio del Toro, and that shit sucks shit.
That was a period.
Awful.
That was a period piece, though.
Yeah. I love the first Underworld, man. I thought that was fucking.
But then
great.
you get movies like
like
the Brothers Grimm. The Brothers Grimm, I'd kind of put it in that universe.
That is an underrated movie, I think.
It's an underrated movie. It's great. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you could somehow make this work in a modern
or the
age.
Witch, like Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. That is an awesome bad movie. Like that, as far as good bad movies go, that's up there.
I have a suggestion. I think that the creator of the movie Blood Twister, Mr. Tony Casillas, should be the one who makes it, because I got my copy here. And it's killing it. Guys, we gotta do some recommendations real quick, and then we'll be out of here. So with that said,
I got one more thing that I'm really surprised you didn't clip.
Okay.
Was when the mom tells the kid, "Hey, someone called you about that book, the Mr. Alucard. He writes it backwards, and of course it spells Dracula." Well, his mom didn't understand what the book was. She wrote the Van Halen diary on the whiteboard. I thought that was fucking great.
I totally missed that. You know what's funny is my mom used to call Van Halen Van Helsing when I was a kid, and she's like, "Oh, I got you your Van Helsing shirt." Mom, stop.
Eddie Van Helsing.
Van Halen, Mom.
Stop it, Mom.
Recommendations. Let's talk about this one right here. Everyone knows it. I think we really love it. The Lost Boys. That's right. So the 1980s classic. It's got everything you need. It's got emo vampires. It's got that awesome fucking song, "Cry Little Sister."
It's got that guy that's almost naked playing the saxophone, who's all like sweaty.
Tina Turner's saxophone player has the best song on here.
Yep.
I don't think this is the actual.
Yeah, what are you playing right now?
Yeah.
What is
that? Is that a Lonely Boys video? What is that? Lonely Island
Boys.
Duck, did you watch these videos before you strung them together?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's gay porn. I'm pretty sure you're doing
Pornhub.
I grabbed it off of.
Not that I would know, and not that I am judging or anything.
Ready to kill the stream at a moment's notice.
The next one's going to be this one right here. It's called Fright Night. Watch the 1980s version. The new version's really good too, but the 1980s version
love this movie.
Is really good. I wish you
Never seen Fright Night. I need to watch it.
Fright Night is killer.
It's probably the only couple of movies. This and Evil Dead are the two where I would say the original and the remake are both absolutely fucking stellar.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Also, this movie was so fun to watch in the movie theater because people were fucking screaming at the jump scares. It was so awesome.
It's got Marcy Darcy in it. Of course they were.
Yeah. And you talk about practical effects. Holy shit balls.
And it's funny. And that's the other thing is I wanted light tone movies. I think the Lost
Speaking of gay porn, Stephen Jeffries is in Fright Night, and he moonlighted as a gay porn star.
That's right. And the guy that directed Chucky directed this. Am I correct?
No.
Directed Child's Play?
No, you're thinking. Was it?
I don't know.
Tom Holland?
Yeah, Tom Holland. Yeah.
Yeah. Then yeah.
Hey, Jay, you should do a separate podcast where you just call out actors that also did gay.
I only know the one.
Okay, Jay. All right.
I prescribe to that.
You knew the one for this podcast. Yeah,
kidding.
So no, it broke the internet when everyone kind of like called him out about it. He's like, well, people stopped calling me. He was also in a great horror movie from the 80s. Actually, the directorial debut of Robert Englund called 976 Evil, where he actually plays the main character. Evil, yeah, that's a very underrated horror movie.
Yep.
And yeah.
So with that said, that is our look at I guess we really got on a diatribe there. I forgot what we watched, The Monster Squad. So thank you so much for checking it out. David, where can they find you on the internet, good sir?
Go to Children of Dave on Instagram and Stop Motion Nightmares. And on May the 4th, Addison Improv. What's up, Jay? Dorkside of comedy. Come on out.
Tony, how about you? You got a bunch of stuff coming up, don't you?
Yeah, you can follow me at comedian Tony C. This upcoming, you can catch me the 16th and the 17th headlining the Comedy Arena. And yeah, so come out to that.
Dope.
Hell yeah. And then you can find us at our podcast at wearepodcast.podbean.com. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, Jake, and Hobby. We break down pop culture. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast. We talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Reverend Dr. Ethan Eastwood talking video game lore. We also have Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest where we play some D&D. And finally, you can find us every Monday here for Camp/Horrorcast live at 8 p.m. Central Time here on Twitch. Next week, we are doing The Evil Dead. We're going to discuss how we're going to be doing that, but we will be figuring that out here in a minute. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Just a quick announcement. I got hired from a rock band in Australia to do their album cover, and they just hired me to do their music video. I'm almost done with it, and I can't wait to show you guys. It's really fun. It's all stop motion. So it's really fucking cool.
What you said so far was fucking badass, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be badass. What's the name of that band?
Bad Absalom.
Yeah, because their music was pretty badass.
It's a biblical name, Absalom. It's a biblical character.
Well, guys, we will see you next week. So thank you so much for checking out. Ethan, with that said, cut. Let's see. Keep horror in your heart.
We're out.
Keep horror in your heart.
Too late. We're out.
No one's going to keep horror in their hearts now.
Oh, my God.
Fuck the duck.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Hobby. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore. Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.